What we are going to be talking about today is how my client made it on the TEDx stage, and how, if you want to reach that kind of level of visibility, I kind of put together the 3 main pieces of advice that I would give any of my clients if they wanted to reach those levels, because it's been a really amazing journey to watch my client do this. And so why don't we get started right here? Hi, everybody. If you don't know who I am, my name is Coveney. I am a business coach, and I specialize in monetizing small audiences, and I help online coaches get clients right away. That's why the podcast is called Get Clients First. Get clients right away, even before they have to grow their audience by a single follower. That's really where you need to be starting. So why don't we just start with where you are right now, okay? If you are seeing other people get featured on TEDx, get featured on stages, if you go online and you see other people's feeds and they're all amazing, right? Everybody looks like they know what they're doing. Everybody looks like they have a team of 10 people behind everything that they do. I'm gonna tell you, comparisonitis, that affliction that makes you compare yourself to everybody else and actually slows down your progress, it's a real thing. We all feel it. Even the coaches at the highest levels of their career feel this type of, like, if they're doing it, then why am I not there yet, right? Why haven't I gotten there yet? So if you are in a place where you're not getting as many sales as you would like, if you're in a place where you don't really have a clear funnel, where you're still fighting with your messaging, and you're still feeling like everybody has it all figured out, but I don't, I want you to know that you're not alone. In fact, my client was also there, right? When we started working together, those were the exact same concerns that she had. Is my messaging correct? What kind of offers should I be giving? I have these offers, but nobody's signing up for them. We started working together 2 years ago. 2 years later, she's completely booked up with high-ticket one-on-one clients, and she just gave her very first TEDx talk. And she's now building out a team to help support her in her business. So how did that happen in that short amount of time? In just 2 years. So this is where I kind of wanted to start, because this is not something that you can just decide to do one day and then just see it happen next week. This is something that actually takes time. But when she and I started working together, we didn't know how long it was going to take. All we knew is that we had to take the right steps in the right order. And we both knew that getting on the TEDx stage was going to be a big goal for her. We knew that she needed to set up some foundation of her brand, of her message, in order for TEDx to even be possible. TEDx was at first just a dream. It's like, yes, that would be nice, right? But then slowly, everything started to become clearer, and it started to become more inevitable. So that's the journey that I want to guide you through. Okay? Because my specialty is not getting people on the TEDx stage. My specialty is getting you to start a business, even if you don't have a large audience. To this day, my client does not have a large audience. We can't keep chasing that same golden goose of growing your audience if you don't have the branding foundations set up, if you don't have the right messaging, if you don't have the right funnel helping you with it. So that is where we're going to start this journey. I'm going to tell you the 3 things that I would tell any of my clients when they see the success that this client of mine has gotten. And they tell me, okay, Ina, if I want to get there, what do I need to do? We're going to start here, because it all starts with getting clients first. If you haven't started getting clients consistently, that is a symptom that something else could be happening here. That is a symptom that you're not speaking to the right audience. It may be that your offer is not attractive enough for the audience that you already have. It could be that you're not being consistent enough in talking about your offers. There's so many people out there who are just posting on Instagram, posting on LinkedIn, posting on Facebook, and they're not actually making any offers. So when they wonder where are the clients, well, have you been inviting people, right? So it could be a symptom. Your lack of sales is a symptom of something else. And we got to start by making sure that whatever offer you have actually fits what your audience wants to buy. Otherwise, this is never going to work. That was the first thing that my client and I did, is we went back to basics. We said, yes, you are an expert. Yes, you know who your ideal client is. But if they're not buying your offer, we need to get you clients first. And we need to figure that part out first. So that's what we did. That's when she started working with me, was through the Get Clients First method. All right? So what happened next? Once she started getting clients, once she started to figure out what her offer should be, what happened next? How do you start to elevate your authority, even though you don't have a small audience? Because this is something I'm going to tell everybody. If someone goes to your feed, the first thing they're going to look at to see how legit you are, I'm not going to lie, is how many followers you have. If you don't have a lot of followers, you're not dead in the water, but you are playing a different game. Because if I had 500,000 followers, you would not care about what my feed looks like. You would not care about what my bio looks like. You would not care about what I do. You would just want to follow me to see how I'm doing it. How am I getting that kind of visibility? That's all. Having a large audience is immediate credibility, immediate visibility. Immediate credibility and immediate authority. But when you don't have it, you are not dead in the water. And that's the biggest mistake that every coach out there on social media makes. Thinking that, hey, if that's an immediate authority builder and I don't have it, I need to go and get it. And you will spend an entire year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, getting yourself into more debt and still not getting clients and still not seeing an ROI for all of your efforts online. So we're going to cut that out. We're going to say, okay, we acknowledge that follower count is an immediate authority builder. But knowing that I'm probably not going to get there in the next week, in the next month, in the next 6 months, I need to start making money now. I need to start getting my business working now, right? So that's what we do. We go and get clients first. The next thing you do is you need to start raising your prices. So we started talking a little bit about how do you build credibility and how do you build social authority if you don't have a large audience. If that's an immediate authority builder, what is the next thing that I can do to build social authority? That is to have a clear message. If I go out there and I tell you, hey, if your biggest problem is getting clients, I can help you solve that problem in 30 days. Not 2 months, not 6 months, not a year. I can help you get clients in the next 30 days. People who need clients are going to come to me and say, tell me how. That's it. They don't need to know, like, or trust me. All they need to know is that I can solve their problem. So when you go out there and you're trying to build social authority, you need to have your offer already getting traction, right? That's why we get clients first, right? And the next thing we do is building social authority. So this is way before TEDx is even a thing. We talk about social authority. And those were the building blocks that 2 years before my client made it on TEDx, we were working on, was how to build her social authority. So what are some things that we can do to build that social authority? Go out there, get featured on podcasts. That's an easy one, right? Get out there and learn how to create a beautiful, well-messaged feed, right? This was one of the things that my client told me, that when she was applying to all of these TED Talks, there was no opportunity in the application for her to say, hey, I was actually featured on Forbes. But they brought it up in the interview. Why? Because they went to her social media presence and there it was. She and I put together a feed that showcases what she can do and how she can do it. So to start to really step into that leader role, once you have your offer, right? We're still 2 years away from TEDx, right? We got clients. We know that our offer works. We are going to start building that authority, stepping into it, and raising our prices. Because whatever prices you were offering in the beginning of your offer are not going to be enough. That is going to be your initial pricing. That is the pricing that speaks to your imposter syndrome. That is the pricing that speaks to your thinking to yourself, well, it's a new offer, right? So you're not going to stay in that price for very long. But it's really important that you step into your expertise, and your prices need to match that expertise. So it's time to, whatever your pricing is, challenge yourself to increase it and see what happens. Okay? Now, so far, what have we got? Number 1, get clients first, right? Make sure that that offer is ironclad. Number 2, raising your prices. You have to step into that area of expertise, right? Number 3 is creating an online presence that speaks to your audience, that transmits and communicates credibility and authority, and that when people look at it, they know that you know what you're talking about. Now, these were all of the building blocks, right? Before we even thought about TEDx. We worked together for a year, perfecting that message, perfecting that social media presence, perfecting her offers, raising her prices, and getting her clients. And once she started to really see that business going, she came back and said, what is the next step? And this is where I have a bonus tip for you, which is that you need to have a bigger goal with your business, a goal that transcends getting clients right now, a goal that is so huge that you can't even think about how you would do that in the next 2 months, right? So when we started talking about, okay, what is next? Well, you could spend the next 5 years just growing these offers. But the more we talked about it, and the more we talked about her story, the more it became obvious that she belonged on this stage. And we started bringing up the idea of TEDx again, right? We started talking about like, well, you could be getting out there on stages. You could be getting out there talking in conferences, speaking in conferences. You could be doing that. And I just told her very honestly, your story is ready for the TEDx stage. So that's when she said, okay, then what do I have to do? And that's when I made a recommendation. And I told her, you know who I met recently, right? In these crazy podcasting world conferences. I met this guy. His name is Adam Lewis Waka. Adam is a TEDx coach. And I told her, that is where you go. You need to start getting yourself on the TEDx applications, right? You need to start getting yourself out there figuring out how to do this. And it took a while, guys. It took a while. It wasn't until a year later that she was on the TEDx stage, right? So these things are things that take time. But it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't because she was 100% focused on getting that messaging out, on getting that social authority out there, on getting her social media presence to match her expertise, on getting her offers to match her expertise. If you want to get yourself that level of visibility, it doesn't start by you just applying to TEDx. It starts by you developing a body of work. You gotta be that expert. And I meet so many coaches who are stuck in the imposter syndrome of it all, right? Who are stuck in the, well, I haven't been doing this for very long. Or I'm not sure what my messaging should be. I'm still not sure that my feed looks right. I need to spend more time on it. Or I am still not consistent on social media. And they think they are years away. Years, like 10 years away from doing a TED Talk 5 years away from writing a book. But I'm just gonna tell you with like my heart in my hand. Those clients, like coaches that I work with, that are truly ready to have a large vision for themselves, to really think big, to really dream big. Those are the coaches that 2 years down the line are publishing their first books. Those are the coaches that are going on TEDx. Those coaches that have a huge vision for themselves and don't give up on that vision are the ones that make it on the TEDx stage, are the ones that go and publish their books, right? And they publish their books like by the end of the year, not 3 years from now, not 5 years from now. Those are the coaches that make it, the ones that are putting the right steps in the right order, and that they know that their big dreams need to be acted on right now. If you have a big idea for a book, start making notes now. Start looking for a coach that is going to help you with that. If you have big dreams for being on the TEDx stage and you know that your story is ready and your funnel is ready for that visibility, right? Go ahead and talk to people like Adam Lewis Walker. I'm going to put his Instagram account right below in the show notes. But you don't start with writing the book and publishing it tomorrow. So there is something called like the Today Show test, right? I want you to picture that you are about to be on the Today Show tomorrow, okay? You're going to be interviewed by Savannah and by Hoda, right? They're going to have you on to talk about your expertise. Millions of people are about to watch you on TV. If I asked you if you're ready for that, you could be thinking of camera confidence, right? Am I ready to be on TV? Do I feel like I would be a charismatic interview, right? That is one thing to look at. But the other side of it is what's going to happen the next day when people look you up, when people start searching for your website, when people start searching for you on Instagram. Are you going to be ready to fully capitalize on that visibility? Do you look like an authority? Do you have social authority on social media? On all of the mediums, is your messaging on point? And are you transmitting, communicating that authority that you have? Are you communicating that credibility that you have? If the answer is no, then we're not ready for that yet, but that's okay, because there's plenty of work to do before we get there. And it doesn't have to take 7 years. So let's recap what we learned here today. That if you want to be on the TEDx stage, if you want to be the published author, if you want to be featured on the Today Show, any coach that teaches how to get those things done will tell you, yeah, we can do that by the end of the year. But those coaches are not worrying about your funnel. Those coaches are not worrying about, okay, what are you going to do with the visibility, right? That's my job. My job is to make sure that when you hit that stage on TEDx, that when you publish that book, that when you get up on the biggest conference for your field, that your funnel is going to be ready, that you're going to be able to turn any visibility into clients. That's my job. That's what I do. So let's recap what we learned here. Number 1, get clients first. Know that your offer is ready for a larger audience to come and just grab because it's that good. So that's what we're going to do first. We get you clients. Number 2, we need to build that social authority, but it starts with you believing that you have that expertise, that you have that authority, and that you can charge the prices that you deserve to be charging. So we're going to raise your prices. Okay? By the way, asterisk right here. This is not a blanket statement. You need to talk to someone. Talk to a coach. Ask questions. We have a Facebook group. Go in our Facebook group. The link is below in the show notes, right? It's the Coaches Helping Coaches group on Facebook. Come here and ask, what do you guys think about my prices? Are my prices okay? Hey, I'm afraid of raising my prices. What does everybody charge, right? You can ask these questions. Do some market research to find out where you are. So it's not a blanket statement for everybody to raise their prices. I actually believe that That has to be a nuanced conversation between you and a knowledgeable coach, right? To see where your prices need to be at this stage in business. Because I'll tell you right now, if you're pricing your offer at $3,000 and nobody's buying it, it's not worth $3,000, it's worth exactly zero because nobody's buying it. We need to get your offer out there and get people buying it. So, step 1, get clients first. Step 2, raise your prices, asterisk, speak to a knowledgeable coach to make sure that you know where your prices need to be. Step 3, creating an online presence that not only attracts, but that it also showcases your expertise and your credibility. That needs to be there. You need to pass the Today Show test. If you were to have visibility to millions of people tomorrow, is your funnel ready to turn all of that visibility into clients? You need to have that in place. And finally, this is my bonus tip for you guys. You need to have a huge vision for yourself that you can start working on right now. Have that big vision. And triple bonus, hire a coach that believes in you. Hire a coach that believes that you can make it. When I was working with my client, we were at least a year away from her hitting the TEDx stage. But it took believing in what she was putting out there, in her expertise, to tell her, even though I have never done a TEDx talk myself, I believed in what she was doing. And I believed in her expertise. And I told her that is probably your next step. And that's where she ended up. And she ended up getting herself the help of a great TEDx coach. And she made it on the stage. So, how do you feel about this? My goal today was to set up a path for you to make it big. And that is the path. That's where you start. If you want to get started with your process right away, if you want to get step 1 done and check and get clients consistently for your offer so that you can continue to serve through your business, not just go out there and be a social media influencer and just go out there and be on stage. We need to make sure that you are helping people through your coaching. And that is step 1. If you would like to learn more about that, you can always DM me on Instagram. I am at Ina Coveney. But remember how to spell Coveney. It ends with EY, and the link is below in the show notes. All right, guys, that is what I have for you. If you were my client, these are the things that I would be telling you to do in exactly that order. I hope that you wrote them down. I hope that you have a clear path now. And if you would like to say hello, just come over on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really hope this was helpful, and I will see you on the next one.